in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little John, and going to do a quick taste test on the recently done split batch of the Cooper's Lager, experimental batch, continuing the kit theme. This batch I did a while ago. This one's where are we? Brewed up on the batched on the 3rd of June, bottled the 16th, so it's a month old. Been in the bottle for a month, been in the fridge for a couple of days. Now, just a quick refresh on what I actually did with this. Cooper's Lager tin, split the batch. Half was done with half a kilo of BE2 and fermented with the Nottingham yeast. Rehydrated 1 pack of the Nottingham, 11 litres, 1040 original gravity. So pretty much straight up out of the can, nothing added to it, just a change up on the yeast, and that's it there. And you'll see it's not particularly carved that well, and there's not a hint of head on that. Now I haven't actually noted here how I primed these, but I'm pretty sure these would have just been one carb drop into the bottle. So I don't know what's going on there, and I actually did the taste on this a week ago, and we had pretty much the same thing, no carb, no head. We'll leave that for a second. The second half of the batch was done with pale liquid extract with 630 grams. So we're going for that, like 1.2 kilos in the full batch sort of level, and 100 grams of dextrose. Also had 9 grams of Galaxy and 14 grams of Motor Weka. Boiled for 5 minutes and added to that, and it was brewed or fermented with the with S189 with a slurry, with an estimated start of 110 billion cells for 11 litres, so bang on where it needed to be. 1041 starting gravity, so about the same as the other, and as you can see, very different. It's got a head. It's a fairly flimsy looking head. It's big bubbles, but it's there and it's holding, and there's a decent carb. So given they both had exactly the same priming method and been sitting in the same place, I don't get what's going on there. That's really strange. As I said, the first bottle that did the same thing. So what does it taste like? Yeah, it's a weird. Not vinegary. There's just a weird flavour in that. There's a slickness, which I'm assuming has got to do with no carbonation. There's something wrong going there. So these were done with a split fermenter, so maybe there was something wrong with that fermenter. I haven't done a batch in that fermenter since, so perhaps there was a problem with the fermenter itself. They were transferred and bottled the same way, using the same hose, same methods, so it wouldn't have been. It would appear it's not a transfer issue. certainly would have to have been a fermenter issue or an ingredient issue. I'd be surprised if it's an ingredient issue though. I mean, there's not a real lot of yeast in the bottom of that bottle, but not quite as much as that one, but who knows. It fermented fine, fermented down to 108, yeah, so there's no problem there. So let's try this second one. Okay. It's got a nice nose on it. Into those fruits from the Galaxy Motueka. And that's fine. There's a nice hit of fruit from the hops. It's reasonably clean. Nice little gentle hit of malt. Good spritz from the carbonation. There's nice things going on with that, but again, it's like, common problem, with the kit beer. There's that weirdness, just that, lines everything. I know plenty of people say they get rid of it, they hide it and whatnot. And again, maybe I'm too fussy. Maybe I pick it. Maybe I'm too easy to pick it. But the reality is it's there. Whether you want to ignore it or not, or overlook it and go focus more on the other flavours. That's a personal thing. For me, and particularly, brewing all grain and all sorts of different ways, where you don't get that. From that point of view, it's a flavour I don't like. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to taste that in my beer. But that aside, the flavour profile, the hops in that beer are quite nice, and plenty of brewers will be very happy to be knocking that out. And there's nothing, that recipe from that point of view, for an easy beer, not a lot of effort, not a lot of expense. It's a decent quality beer, well worth drinking. Unfortunately, I can't make a real good comment on the basic pack because something's going wrong. And it's hard to say. You can pick up the malts, and there's a reasonably clean flavour there, but there's just something that's taken over that brew. I can only assume something's gone wrong. That's the second bottle, but it's actually not turned out real well. But I do think it's a shame, because that's I think that's the first brew I've done with Nottingham. I really wanted to see how that came out. But as I said, going off what is there, it does seem to be like it does seem that Nottingham has produced a reasonably clean beer. So that's something I have to revisit again. I'll probably look at that. I'm going to do a Cerveza coming up very soon. Again, I'll do a split batch. I'm going to do Kingsley's Passion Fruit Cerveza. I've done as an all grain. I'm going to do it on the kit base. I've brewed it myself here at home. I'll actually do it on the first one I've done on the video. And I think I'll do another half of that, and I might use Nottingham. It does seem to give a nice clean result. And so this is just ambient temperatures in the garage, which are working quite well, so I think that'll be okay. We can work with that. Now, let's think of while I'm going. Got 2 bottles here from the previous, the original cheap kit experiment, which was the home brand lager. Now, I originally done a review on these, and neither version came out particularly great, but that was a few weeks back. Now this has now been, it's a bit over 6 weeks since it was bottled. So let's see if it's made any real difference, that little bit of aging, because the age does make a difference on these kit beers. Definitely carved up well and truly. Fairly flimsy looking bloody head though. And that's the that one hasn't got quite the head. Again, these are just a home brand lager, the tin. They're done with bit of B1, some dextrose. One was done with light dry malt. This one, Dex, and a bit of a difference on the hops. The original video, I wasn't impressed with either of these. And going from that, nothing's really changed. Yeah, neither of those are nice. Again, it's drinkable if that's what you have. If you're in a cheap grog, you're looking at cheap beer is going to get you, drink your cares away. It'll do the job, but yeah, not good. So, but again, this is, other than that having some sort of infection, this really shows what problems you can have with the kit beer. Inconsistency. Ingredients that are bloody always, subject to variables. How they've been stored, how old they are, are the mixes right, have you got them right, that's got no head, it's got good carb, malt, hops. It should at least try to make a head, but it's not. And that one's got a large head, it's very frothy looking. It looks alright, that's reasonably clear. Good carb. But so overall view on this one. Adding hops and using decent malt instead of bloody B1s or sugar mixes or boosters or whatever, depending on what brew shop you're going through or where you're getting your stuff from. Some good malt, bit of hops, and you can turn a kit into a decent beer. I say decent because in my experience I'm really probably only ever tasted bloody 3 or 4 good kit beers, and they were beers that were heavily modified. I mean, heavily modified grains, malts, lots of hops. A lot of effort, to the point where you might as well have just been making it from scratch from all grain. But if you're sticking to something basic, that little bit of hops, a little bit of malt can get you something decent and drinkable for a good price. But it's just not right. Well, this is an example. This is, like I said, this is Cooper's Lager kit. I've done an experiment recently with some lemon naughty hops, which I've just done with some dried extract and a little bit of dextrose, about 10% dextrose in the mix, just under the demijohn. They come out nice and clean, crisp, just with USA 5. Just sat here on the table. And it's a really tasty beer. There's no weird flavours in it. Just a simple step up, boiled up in a little pot, nice and easy. I think really, if you don't want to go to all grain, fair enough, I get that. That's a big step, not mucking around. But really, if you want to make a decent beer, get away from the tins. Leave the tins alone. They don't work. Whatever happens in that process of putting them in the tin leaves a flavour in there that's almost impossible to get rid of. It varies, but it's always there. And I'll be doing I'm going to do a full-scale batch of that experiment coming up. I'm going to do that for the pardon me. I'll do a keg of that for parties that are going to happen here the night before, and probably the night of after my son's wedding. A lot of family here, so I've got to knock out a few beers that they'll be able to drink, and I think that will be really good. So that I'll do a video of, and that'll be pure. That's pretty much, like I said, all dry malt, a little bit of dextrose. That'll be in the coming weeks, just waiting on the bulk dry malt to come in. But my opinion, you're wasting your time doing that. If that's where you are, go back, watch the video, follow those steps, get yourself something that's decent, half decent and drinkable. Give that to your mates, they're not going to complain too much. At the end of the day, if they're drinking Great Northern or something equally fucking shitty, they're not going to pick that apart, that's for sure. Well, so that's me for today. It's enough of giving beer kits a bit of a bag out. If you've got any questions, got any comments, stick it down the bottom. Any suggestions, things you want done, put them there. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. So you can watch the experiments going forward. As I said, Severs are coming up very soon. That extract brew won't be far behind it either. And we'll be pumping out another all grain on the Robo Brew in the coming weeks as well. So, till I'm looking at, till we're doing them, making some beer. And we're talking beer, drinking beer, good brewing.